Rock stars, Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here. How are you doing? If you are looking for two huge, oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? That is my track going. Sorry about that. Haha. All right, my friends, if you are here to learn two huge reasons why you really need to learn the F chord, you've come to the right place. This is part one of a two-part series that I'm going to be doing today. I'm gonna just tell you right away what those two huge things are. Here it is. The two huge things on why you need to learn the F chord is that, number one, it will literally double your capacity. It'll more than double your capacity, and I'll tell you and I'll explain to you why this is. It will more than double your capacity to play new songs. Acoustic songs, you know, where you're missing that F chord, which can also be used as a B minor shape, same thing. But not only will it literally open up thousands of new songs for you that you typically will skip over if you can't play the F chord well or not at all, right? Number one. And number two, knowing this one F chord, okay, will literally, I'm going to show you this tomorrow. Today I'm going to show you how to play this F chord and some other bits and pieces. And tomorrow I'm going to show you these 100+ chords that you will literally be able to derive from the F chord by minor little tweaks, and you'll be able to memorize them all. I promise you. But one step at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? So I know a lot of you out there, because I have taught thousands of lessons, and I've never in my life ran across a student who's like, oh yeah, A minor, C chord, F chord, sure, I got it, sure. First try, bam. Nope, never happens. So only the best guitar players in the world have run into issues. Well, I should say, not only the best and the worst, but the best guitar players in the world have had problems with the F chord. I'll say it again, the best guitar players in the world, Slash, Eddie Van Halen, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, name it, they had a problem with the F chord. Because it's a problem. We're doing things with our hands that are not very natural. You go up to a piano, you can play an F chord the first day. Bam, F chord. Someone shows you where to put your fingers, it's super easy. But when it comes to guitar, there are a lot more subtleties that are happening. And if you aren't aware of them, then you're going to screw up. Bottom line. Here are the things that people will use as an excuse. I'm not saying it as an excuse like you're making an excuse, but what they think is the block. And it's not the block at all. They'll say, get ready, because this is you. My hands are too small. My fingers are too short. My fingers are too fat. My boobs are too big. I've heard that one where the ladies have their guitar out here. And in her case, in this particular case, it might have actually been a problem. But other than that, I'm telling you, if you try me, I'm just going to send you a video of a guy playing chords with his feet. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see just what I'm talking about, okay? It's not that your hands are messed up, okay? If you have 2 fingers on your guitar, or on your hand, we'll be able to do something, okay? I promise you, you're going to be able to get through this, okay? Chances are you have 4 or 3 or 4 fingers, you're going to be able to do this, okay? So, without further ado, no, not without further ado yet, I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna stack this, okay? And then I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna stack it tomorrow. So today what I'm gonna do is tell you why it is that F chord is so important, and then I'm gonna show you, I promise you, if you stick around, you stick with me on this, you are going to play the F chord today, okay? Not only are you going to play the F chord today, you're probably not going to play it exactly how you want to. That's not how life works. You don't get to go to the gym for one day and be a hoss. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way with anything. So I'm the guy that's going to tell you you're not going to learn everything overnight. I'm the guy that's going to tell you the truth and say it's going to take some work. However, there's a lot of tricks and cool things to know, and if you know those things, it's going to make things so much easier, okay? So, I'm gonna show you how to play that F chord by breaking it down in a way that's gonna show you exactly what you specifically, because everybody's different and they're holding their F chord differently, posture's different, everything. It's gonna show you specifically what issue you are having with the F chord and how to fix that problem. Now, I saw in the chat Birdie or Curdy or Dirty or something like that on YouTube saying something about, well, why do we need to know the F chord? Number one, I just told you, because you're going to learn thousands of new tunes and hundreds of new chords from learning this one F chord. Not only that, I challenge you, are you too weak for the F chord? Oh, ouch. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it's not that you have some inability to play it. You have the ability to play it. You just don't know the particulars and how to chop it down to make it where you can do it. So, are you in, or are you going to be a wimp and drop out of the F chord? Because I promise you, learning this one F chord is literally going to open up a whole world of magical stuff for you. Don't believe me? Stick around. I promise you, I always deliver. Oh, and by the way, today we're going to be giving away a lifetime membership to the Unstoppable Guitar System /365 guitar plan. We've sold UGS for $400 for years now. The 365 products is $80, $79.99. So we're giving that away to one lucky winner today. We'll be doing that again tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we'll be giving away many lifetime memberships and this beautiful 1993 Gibson Les Paul Special, owned by Michael Spriggs, session guitar player for Nashville, and owned by Laser Lloyd, who is a legendary blues guitar player. It'll come with the guitar, with the case, and a letter, and we'll probably throw in some other goodies too. So we'll be giving away thousands of dollars worth of stuff on Saturday. We love doing this. So giveaways today, giveaways tomorrow, giveaways Saturday. For more information about that, I'll make sure that we have a link somewhere for you to, or I tell you what, go to YourGuitarSage.com/live. And that, friends, for folks that share this video, listen to me, this is how you win. Share the video. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, however you're sharing it, share it. Afterwards, we scour and we pick a winner, and one winner will walk away with a lifetime membership to Unstoppable Guitar System 365. Cool? Cool. All right, so let's get into it. So first off, if you're watching on Instagram, hello Instagram, love you guys. But if you want all the goodies and you want me to answer your questions, I know some of you are in transit and you can't do it. But if you want to do that, then make sure that you go to Facebook or YouTube, where I'll be giving this PDF out and teaching the lesson and answering questions in real time. Okay, without further ado, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, check out the description of this video. You're going to see a link there about a PDF, okay? Do it right now. I'm actually going there with you. Do it right now, and you're going to see there, it says YourGuitarSage.com bonus PDF, August 22. Hey, that's today. It worked out perfectly. So, so go there and download that PDF. Why? Because we're going to be doing this lesson today, and much of what I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to be telling you a lot, is going to go not over your head necessarily, but it's going to go past you. You need to have something to remember it, and why would you waste an hour today and an hour tomorrow if you don't have the bits and pieces and you walk away with exactly what I've promised you? Now, you're not going to get exactly what I've promised you unless you do the work. Part of that work is downloading that PDF. You don't have to do it now. You can do it later. A lot of folks will watch this when it's not live, and the PDF will be where I'm telling you it's at. Okay, so without further ado, make sure you're clicking on that description and then click on the download the free PDF here. Click on that, open it right now in another tab because we're going to be looking at it, and I'm going to be scanning through it really quickly. Now, I don't talk for talking's sake. I know some folks think that. It's not true. I say things that are necessary. Sometimes it requires being wordy to give all the description and to see things from all different angles. When I'm looking at this PDF, you're going to go to page 1 after the title page, okay? And I want you to read that. A lot of this stuff, I'm not going to read any of it to you right now, but it's very, 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 very important. It was definitely 5. Varies. It's very important that you read this. I know some folks don't like reading. Read it. It's going to help you immensely to understand the logic behind why it is that the F chord is so effing important, okay? Do it. Read page 1 where I'm telling you about the importance of it, okay? Okay, the first bit, and we're going to scan over some of this stuff. I'm not reading it, and I'm going to be doing it, literally giving you this in a nutshell because I really want to get to questions as well. But here's the deal. Posture is really important at first, okay? If you're a newer student, posture is utmost importance. If you've been playing for a little while, you kind of know what you're doing. There's a few different ways you can hold the guitar. You can hold it like the classical stance, like this. It's a little bit uncomfortable with the back because you're really using your back muscles. And you've got your guitar in a position here where it's being held by your legs and your torso. Okay, so it's in 3 different places. So the guitar isn't going to go anywhere, okay? If you're holding it in the traditional folk style, which I do 99.9% of the time, it's a little bit less stable, okay? Now, why would I do that? Well, because that's just how most people do it, and it's very comfortable. The guitar is just right there. I could sit here, I could talk, and I could sit like this for a while, okay? With a classical stance, you can't only sit like that for so long, especially if your back muscles are not prepared to do that. If you play a lot of classical guitar, it'll be easier. So, but here's the caveat to doing this. As a beginner, there's a tendency for you to grab the neck and to want to keep it stable. And doing so, one typically reaches their thumb over the top of the neck. We don't want to do that because the F chord requires us to drop our thumb down the back of the neck and then play on our fingertips, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about posture. It's really important that you use proper posture. And for those that are starting in the beginning here, nothing that we do is going to feel, oh, this is awesome. That's what Eric told me, and this feels amazing. None of it's going to feel amazing at first. It's kind of like the first time you ate whatever it is that you like now but you didn't like before. I guarantee you can name 5 things easily. Okay, broccoli. The first time you eat it, you're like, this is weird. Second time you eat it, you're like, it's all right. Third time you eat it, you're like, it's kind of good. And the fourth time you eat it, you're like, give me some broccoli, or whatever it is, okay? Guitar is very similar in that the first few times that you do a particular something, even though an expert is telling you to do it this way, and you're like, well, it doesn't feel right. It's not gonna feel right. Have you ever done it before? No. So it's not gonna feel right. So it takes us a little while to get in the groove of things. But trust me, if I'm telling you to do something a particular way, it's because I've done it and taught it and read about it and learned it for almost about 35 years now. So I can guarantee you that what I'm telling you is the gospel truth, okay? I try to keep things sparse so that what I am telling you is absolutely truth, okay? As opposed to getting into a bunch of controversial things, okay? Thank goodness guitar is not that controversial. Okay, so number 1, posture is really, really important. So if you are going to do the traditional folk posture here. Just make sure that you're not holding the guitar neck like a shovel, okay? Kiss of death, don't do it. Take your thumb, drop it in the back of the neck, because we're gonna need all that finger slack, if you will, like slack in a rope. We're gonna need those fingers out front and center, okay? Now, the next chapter down is dexterity. Why did I include this? Well, I included this because I know there's a lot of beginners watching, and posture is really important. Posture is everything in the beginning. Dexterity is basically getting your fingers to do what you want them to do, okay? And this is only done by practice. There are a few people out there that think that this is something you're born with. It's not. I could argue till the day is long, and we could argue, and I'm not gonna, because it's gonna be a waste of time. If you want to believe that you're good at guitar because you're born with it, then I would really highly suggest turning off this video right now. Unless I can persuade you, because it's not at all. You're not born with it. It's all practice. And bottom line, otherwise we'd see 3-year-olds wailing on the guitar, and we don't. It takes a few years to get good at the guitar, even at a young age. So dexterity is the next important thing, because as a beginner, you're gonna say, if you haven't, let's say you've just picked up the guitar, really, what I'm gonna be showing you today, even though it's challenging for everybody, as a beginner, it's going to be more challenging, okay? And so these dexterity exercises and the specific pieces that I'm talking about in here are so important in every note, in every chord that you ever play on the guitar from today till the end of your life. Amen, okay? I'm not joking. These are things that you're gonna use every single time. I'm gonna go over them really, really quickly, okay? Here are the things. Number one, we wanna play on our fingertips, okay? Really important, you're playing on your fingertips, because if you're not playing on your fingertips, what happens is you end up playing a chord and you're playing on the pads of your fingers, and we get that sort of sound where we have muted notes. But I can easily play on my fingertips and now get the whole chord. Fingertips, fingertips, fingertips. Just remember, playing right behind the fret is really important. For those of you that are like, well, I thought he was going to teach us the F chord. I am teaching you the F chord, but these techniques are absolutely required. And unless your F chord right now is kick-ass, which you probably wouldn't watching this if it wasn't. I mean, if it was, you wouldn't be watching this. So obviously your F chord needs help. These are the parts, what I'm telling you right now, these baby parts that you're like, I wish you'd skip to the F chord. These are the parts that are messing up your F chord, okay? It's not the F chord, it's these parts. And I'm gonna show you that, okay? So listen. Very, very important. If you know these beginning pieces and you're not doing them, you don't know them. If you know them and you're doing them, then you know them. But if you're having a problem with the F chord, you're not doing them. So here we go. So playing right behind the fret. Why? Because think about it like a seesaw. There's leverage. If you're way up on the seat, you know, close to the fulcrum, you're not going to have as much leverage. If you're way back, you're going to have more leverage. So if we scooch up on that fret, it's going to be easier to play, much easier to play than it would be back here. Harder to play, and we're getting buzzing and muting sounds. So playing right behind the fret, very, very important. You're not going to get all this today. You're just going to get the basic idea, and you're going to reread this, and you're going to practice this, and I promise you, you're going to rock at it if you do the work. Okay. Playing with all your fingers, I won't even go into that too much, other than it's really important you play with all your fingers. They're there. Use them. I know the pinky is lazy. Here's the deal. Everybody's pinky's lazy. Here's why. Check this out. A little bit of biology for you. The the pinky is really far away from the thumb. The first finger is really close, making it, however you want to look at it, very easy to pick things up with the thumb and the first finger. Our ancestors have been doing this for a few years now. So that's why they don't pick things up like this. Does that feel weird to you to pick something up like that? Of course it does. Why? Because the pinky just doesn't get the same workouts. And if you look at things, either evolutionary or whatever you believe, the pinky's pretty dang short. Why? It doesn't get used. Okay? So it needs an ass kicking, like your F chord does. We need to work it. So the pinky is going to be lazy. It is for everybody. Just realize that, know that, and work through it. Okay? No excuses. Just keep moving forward. Got to use all your fingers. Lastly, it's helpful to leave some space between the palm of your hand and the palm of your fretting hand and the guitar neck. This is where I talked about, if we have our thumb over the top of the neck like this, which I can do this because I've been playing a long time, you too will be able to do this eventually. Don't do it now. okay? Same reason that if Evel Knievel is, what's the guy, who's that snowboarder, Chris? The redhead guy. You know him? Shaun White. If Shaun White's teaching you, thank you, if Shaun White's teaching you how to snowboard, right? He's not going to say, okay, so the first thing you want to do is triple axis, double take, whatever. That's not even a real move. But he's not going to say do that right away. And you're like, but Shaun, you're doing it. Okay, Shaun will say, go do it, and you're going to break your neck. Okay, don't do what Shaun does, or don't do what I do right now. Do what I say, and then eventually you'll be able to do what I do, but right now you won't be able to do that, okay? So very important that you take your thumb, and instead of playing with your thumb over the top of the neck like that, what you want to do is take your thumb, watch it, and you're going to drop it down, okay? The closer it is to the bottom part of the neck here, as opposed to the top part of the neck, the bottom part, the more slack. You're giving yourself an advantage, an edge if you do this, because now all of a sudden you can play on your fingertips, you're leaving that space like I'm talking about, and you're curling that last knuckle. Do I even talk about that in here? If I don't, curling that last knuckle is absolutely crucial to your F chord. What I mean by that is this knuckle right here. If I bend my hand like that, okay, this knuckle right there is super needs to bend, okay? Just remember that, because we're going to run into some issues as I'm showing you the chord here in just a moment. Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna blaze through this because I got to show you this F chord and how you're gonna mess with it. Okay, dexterity exercise number 1. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first string, and then it goes on to the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth string. If you don't know about that, if you don't know how to read tablature, check out my free course and you can learn about it. YourGuitarSage.com/30. Okay, the link's probably in the video description. Okay, so let's move it on. Okay, how to play open chords. We're not even going to get into that. I'm just giving it to you because there's a lot of gospel in there that you need to know in order to play open chords. And if you're not playing them yet, you need to play open chords before you try to play the F chord. But if you've never played any chords yet, you're still in the right place. Just trust me. Talent versus practice. Read it. It's absolutely psychology that you have to have if you want to be good at guitar. It's because otherwise you're going to do what most people do when they start off, and they think that someone has some special ability over them. Even when I say that, I'm stirring some of you up right now, and you're going, yeah, but there are some that do. Especially for you, read the damn Talent versus Practice. Read it, read it, read it, read it. You especially, okay? Bar chords. This is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. This is the part 2 of it, where I'm going to take this F chord and literally transform it into 120 chords-ish, something like that, maybe even more, depending on how much time we have. Literally by little tiny tweaks that you're going to be doing to this chord, okay? So I always say there's 2 things about a chord for beginners. There's understanding how it, well, I should say 3 things. There's the theory part of it, but we're not talking about that today. There's the, how does it look on the fretboard, okay? You can say, okay, that finger's going to go there and that's going to go there. Great. And you can conceptualize it. You can see the shape in your mind. You can even go for it like this, but you might not be actually physically playing the chord. So you got all that part right, but you're not actually fretting it, okay? So the fretting it is the second part of it. Don't mix the two. They're 2 separate. Understand how to do it, and then fretting it's a whole nother thing. We're going to be understanding those chords tomorrow. You're not going to be able to just be able to play 120 new chords probably very cleanly right off the bat, but you'll understand how they stack up, and then by learning this F chord, you literally will be so much closer to playing those 120 chords, it's not even funny. Okay, all right, so yes, read that whole bit about bar chords eventually. And is that it? Okay, now let's get into that F chord, because I'm going to show you specifically what you need to be doing. Okay, Instagram folks, if you're just joining us, Instagram folks, or folks that are, if you're on Instagram, join us on Facebook and YouTube, because there's a PDF there that we're looking at, and I'm going to be taking your questions in real time. Okay, so let's talk about that F chord now, and how this is the part that really, it's important that you look at that PDF. Very, very important. But it's also more important that you do this next part here. Okay, so what we're going to do is, a lot of folks, they're playing their A minor, they're playing their G, you know, they're playing their C, and then they go for the F. And they're like, oh God, why can't I play that chord? I can play the C chord. It looks pretty similar. Okay, slow down, Kimosabi. So here what we need to do is we need to break the chord up, okay? I would love to say, oh, here it is. Just drop your thumb, boom, instant F chord. Wouldn't it be so cool if life were that easy? I don't think it would, actually, because we wouldn't have the struggle, which makes us grow character. So here we go. You ready? Verdi says, yap, yap, yap. Verdi, I think you're in the wrong place. If you want to learn something, it's all about the yap. You got to know. There's specific pieces. Otherwise, I just go, here, Verdi, play your F chord, right? You're not going to be able to. So here you go. We got to break this down. So you go to play your F chord, okay? However you play it. 3 chords, or 3 notes, 4 notes, 5 notes, 6 notes, whatever. And you have a problem with it because you hear it and you go, and you're hearing some notes, but some notes aren't playing, right? Okay, so this is what we got to do. We got to start with just 2-note double stops. A double stop's when we play 2 notes at a time. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the chord 2 notes at a time, 3 notes at a time, 4 notes at a time, 5 notes at a time, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to show you exactly where your problem area is at. Everybody's different, okay? So check this out. The F chord, you could do this at home right now if you want. What I want you to do is take your first finger, and I want you to lay it across the first fret of strings 1 and 2, okay? Now, the objective here is to just play strings 1 and 2. Okay? If you can't do that, this is the part that you're learning. What we're doing is we're learning how to learn, okay? We're learning how to practice, okay? Because unfortunately, I can't just give you the F chord, so I have to show you how to be your own teacher, evaluate what you're doing, and say, nah, that's not right, let's fix that. Oh, look, hey, look at me, I'm a hero, I'm doing it now. Hey, look, it's better. Hey, look, I have an F chord now. Hey, look, I can play all these thousands of songs and hundreds of new chords. It goes in that step fashion, never skipping a step. So, first finger is on the first and second string at the first fret. And you're barring. What barring means, we're using the side of our finger. But Eric, you told us to play on our fingertips. I did. Here I'm a liar because with a bar chord, it's really, really important that you bar. Okay, that's why it's a bar chord. We're playing 6 strings. We've only got 4 fingers up front. How are we going to play 6 strings? So that requires a bar, which means that that finger lays across several strings at once. Okay, that's the part that people have issues with the F chord, but today we fix it. Okay, so first and second string. There you go. Okay, that's what I want you to do. That's all I want you to do. Are you able to do that? If you're not, what you need to do is go back to that dexterity exercise. Make sure that you're playing close up to the fret. In this case, we're not playing on our fingertips, but we're playing a little bit more on the side of our finger, which you're going to find is more rigid than the pad of the finger. So if you're up on the side of your finger, it's more rigid, it's harder, it's going to make it easier to play. You won't have to press as hard. So do those 2 things at least, okay? Make sure you're pressing hard enough. Okay? Okay, so you've got that on strings 1 and 2. Cool? All right, we're moving on. This is how to do it, my friends. I promise you're going to find out what your problem is. Now, on strings 2 and 3, what I want you to do is put your first finger on the first fret of string 2. Put your second finger on the second fret of string 3. That's all we're going to be doing. Now, for those of you that have gone through my free course, you'll know the pick rest, right? The pick rest is absolutely crucial. Most guitar teachers don't teach it. And my goodness, it's got to be the #1 lesson that you could learn, other than maybe some psychology, talent versus practice, or something like that. So important to do the pick rest here, where we're going to pick strings 2 and 3 and rest our pick on string 1. We don't want to be flying out like that with our pick. It's a distraction. It keeps your energy and your CPU-age, your brain power, from doing what it's supposed to do, which is focusing on this chord, not picking. So understanding that pick rest is really important. If you want more information about that, check out the free course. Link should be in the description of the video. Otherwise, it's YourGuitarSage.com/30. Okay, here we go. So first finger, first fret, second string. Second finger, second fret, 3rd string. We're only going to be playing strings 2 and 3. That's all we're doing. Take your pick, put it on string 3. You're going to pick through strings 3 and 2 and rest your pick on string 1, just like this. It's okay if it sounds like this. Now later on, when you're doing that pick rest exercise, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to try to do that. But right now, we're concerned with this right here, okay? We're concerned with our fretting hand, not our picking hand right now. So, how do those 2 strings sound together? Do they sound good? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to keep that 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And you're going to put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Okay, 2nd finger is the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. 4th finger is the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Did I say that right? 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string. 4th finger, 3rd fret, 4th string. Okay, it's going to look like this. And Chris, if you can zoom in on some of these, that'd be really helpful. Thank you, sir. So here we go. So does that make sense? That's what we're doing right there. The first one was a bar. Then we did fingers 1 and 2. We're breaking that F chord apart. And then we're going to keep that 2nd finger down. We'll bring that pinky in. Again, you're probably not going to learn the F chord totally right now. What you're going to do is you're going to learn the concepts for doing this. And then you're going to be able to bring this home and do it yourself, okay? So here you go. Strings 3 and 4. Now watch this. Keep the pinky where it's at, okay? Now we're going to take the 3rd finger and we're going to put it on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. We're just playing strings 5 and 4. And then lastly, and you don't have to do this all in real time. I'm showing you how to do it, okay? If you want more information about this, just type in effing F chord on YouTube or do the free course. Okay, so here you go. Now what we're going to do, you're going to leave that 3rd finger down. You're going to put your 1st finger right here on the 1st fret of the E string. So even though from your angle it looks like I'm playing a lot of things, I'm really not. I'm just playing strings 1 and 2, or strings 6 and 5 with fingers 1 and 2. So we're just picking strings 6 and 5. Okay. Okay, there we go. So here I'm going to go through it again. So we got 1 and 2. 2 and 3. Strings 2 and 3. Strings 3 and 4. Now here, did you hear that mute just now? If you're hearing something like that, it's because this knuckle is not curled enough. So you need to curl that knuckle more. And dropping that thumb in the back of the neck is also going to help. Okay? Now, is this frustrating? It is at first because you're learning a brand new language. If it's not frustrating, then you're some Martian or you're so Zen-like, which is great for you, okay? But it should be frustrating because you're looking at it, it seems so simple, but it's not sometimes. It can be frustrating, especially in the beginning, okay? So here you are. Okay, so let's go. So we got strings, so let's do this again. We got strings 2 and 1, strings 3 and 2, strings 4 and 3, strings 5 and 4, strings 6 and 5. So you can see there's always one finger that stays on the fretboard. Okay, now what we're gonna do, now I'm gonna get into, let's see what time it is. Okay, now here's how I want you to do this. Write this down right now. Write it down. Get a pen out, get a paper out, write it on your phone, whatever. I want you to practice 2 strings at a time. And you're looking for any problems. You're looking for mutes. You're looking for buzzes. So if you're playing this, and you got a mute, well then you know something's amiss on that one string. If you're playing the whole chord, see, you're just like, well, that F chord's messed up. F chord sucks. I don't have talent anyhow. I quit. I'm gonna play bass. All right, that's how the mind goes. Don't do that. Don't allow yourself to be cheated like that. You control your ship, okay? What you want to do is you want to say, okay, why is that note muting? And then you want to go back to those dexterity bits where I'm saying, am I playing close to the fret? Am I pressing down hard enough? Is that knuckle curled? Now in the case of the bar, of course, we're breaking the rules a little bit because we have to. There's no other way to play a bar chord other than to break the rules, okay? Otherwise, don't play bar chords. But this is the whole point. We're trying to play this one particular F chord because it allows us to play thousands of new songs and hundreds of new chords, okay? So, here we go. There's 1 and 2. Here's 3 and 2. 4 and 3. 5, 4, 6, 5, okay? Then after you do those two, oh, this is what I was telling you. Sorry, I got interrupted. So after you do those two, then you're going to do 3 strings per chord, okay? Listening to the same bits, okay? Are there any mutes, okay? Why is that muted? I'm curling the knuckle like Eric said. Oh, I'm not pressing hard enough, okay? So I can assure you this, that if your F chord is screwed up, it's not because of something that I did, it's something that you're not doing, okay? Because you're gonna want to go, well, now, I'm doing everything you told me to do and it's not working. In the history of ever, your bad F chord has never been my fault. What I'm trying to tell you is, it's that you're doing something wrong, and I'm giving you the bits and pieces here. It's probably that you're just forgetting one of them, okay? So, no harm, no foul, no judgment. It's the F chord's hard. At first, if you don't know these bits. Then you're gonna do that 3 notes at a time, and you're gonna use the same process, okay? Can you hear everything well? If not, fix it there. Going on to another set of 3 notes is not going to help. Going on to a set of 4 notes is not going to help until you get that's down first. So if you cannot get 2 notes down at a time, do not move to 3 notes at a time, okay? Stay on 2 notes at a time. Once you get the 2 notes at a time, then you're good, okay? Or you're, I should say, you're ready to move on to the next step, which is 3 notes at a time. Do not move to 4 notes at a time if you don't have 3 notes down at a time. Make sense? I think it does. We're stacking this. And if you do this, I promise you're going to find out where your Achilles heel is. You're going to find out where the chink in your armor is, where your weakness is. And you're going to work on that. And what I always tell my students inside my program is, if you find out that you have a weakness, well, number one, guess what? That means you are a sentient, live, living being, okay? That's all it means. Everything has weaknesses. Every mammal, every insect, everything has weaknesses, okay? Plants do. Everything does. So that's good. That means you're alive, number one. Number two, that's a great opportunity to fix something that needs to be fixed. If you don't see your weakness, then how are you going to fix it, right? So very important. So you're going to do two strings. Once you can master 2 strings at a time, you're going to master 3 strings doing this pattern. Then you're going to go to 4 strings. And by the way, if you're like, well, what pattern are you talking about? On the PDF, you're going to see an F chord. That's the one you're going to use, okay? I'm not even going to go to it right now. I know it's there. Use the F chord pattern and just do 2s, then 3s. Once you get 3s down, then you can move to 4s. You can't move to 5, which there's only 2 of them. There's only 2 of them, but you can't move to those until you get all of the 4s down. Think about juggling. If you're juggling 3 balls, right, and you're having an issue with juggling 3 balls, do you think that adding a 4th ball will help? Of course not. So why would you add more strings if you can't play a smaller F chord? Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to preach about that. And then you can finally play the 6th string chord. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some questions right now. Instagram folks, head on over to YouTube and Facebook. We're going to be answering questions there, okay? And Facebook and YouTube will be bouncing back and forth. I really want to get to your questions. And then what we're going to do is tomorrow, I'm going to show you the second half of this, which is going to be how you can take that F chord, alter it slightly with little tweaks that you will be able to remember and literally be able to walk away with 100+ new chords. Okay, it's going to be super cool. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you join us for that, okay? All right, you ready for some questions? Let's do this, okay? I'm going to get to it right away since I'm on YouTube. That's where I'm going to be looking, okay? Lee is saying, Eric, what guitar is that? Lee, glad you asked. This is a 1993 Gibson Les Paul Special that was owned by Michael Spriggs, session guitar player here in Nashville, and Laser Lloyd, who is a legendary blues guitar player. So essentially, this is a vintage guitar. It is 18 or so, 25 years old? Is that right? 1993? Yeah, like 25 years old. Is that? Yeah, more than that. Anyhow, 25-ish years old. This guitar rocks. My gosh, it plays amazingly. So much so that I don't really want to give it away. It's got some beautiful patina here where it's just worn out from the guy playing it with his thumb. I love it. And it's got just this lineage to it. In fact, I was talking with Michael Spriggs on the phone the other day because I told him he lives here in Nashville, and I messaged him somehow. I got a hold of him, and I said, hey, man, I'm giving your guitar away, so be looking out. And we had a great conversation about studio guitar and everything else. And anyhow, he's going to be joining us on the program at some point here. I was supposed to call him this weekend. Things got crazy, and I didn't get to. So I'm going to call him, and we're going to be I'm going to have him on the program eventually here, okay? A great, amazing session guitar player. Okay, so that's what this guitar is, okay? There you go. Lee, what shirt is that? I don't know. I don't know what shirt this is. Do you like it? Thank you. Or if you're like, what shirt is that? I want to make sure I don't buy that shirt. Okay, Christopher is saying, when you finally learn to play the F chord, can you say something about transitioning to and from that and the open chord? Seems like a lot of work to get used to that as well. Question mark. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Number one, something I did, I'm going to address yours first, and then hopefully I'll remember the second part here. Well, no, I'm going to address that first. The reason that I said that learning that F chord is literally going to add thousands of new potential songs to your chord vocabulary is we can play everything in the key of G. And we can just keep moving it up in the feel of G, G, C, D, A minor, E minor. And using the capo, we can do this. But once we get past like the 5th fret, things start getting wonky. They start getting tight. And so if we wanted to start playing in some of those upper keys, we're going to have to do this, literally, capo right here. Or we could capo, further down here and play in the key of C if we know our F chord. So that's how it's going to open up those thousands of new songs for you, okay? Literally. Now, Christopher said, what about the transitioning between an F chord and another chord? Okay, again, what we're going to do is we're literally just breaking it down. And I've covered this in the free course as well, YourGuitarSage.com/30. I think I just put a smaller video of it on YouTube. But basically, the problem that you have is the problem that you're going to practice. So if you have a problem going from, say, a G chord to an F chord, that's exactly what you're going to practice. You're going to practice that G chord. You're going to size up the F chord ahead of time. I won't go into this whole lesson because I teach about it in that free course. So I don't want to waste everybody's time. But then you're going to size up the F chord before you get to it. When I talk about jumping across from rock to rock, you size up whatever rock is next before you jump off the rock you're on. That makes common sense, especially if you're rock climbing, right? You better do that. So before I leave this G chord, I'm thinking about the F chord and where all those fingers are going to go. That's going to show that I'm able to grab it a lot quicker, okay? And then when it's not smooth, well, then you just have to practice that more and more. Make sense? Yes, good. Okay. Okay. By the way, great question. Great question. Okay, bit off topic. Was the intro before the live stream started one of the jam tracks from UGS? No, that was Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. Beautiful tune. But we should make a jam track to that one because it's such a beautiful tune. Up my elbow, how do I play? Up my elbow, how do I play? Luke, you just asked a question that says, up my elbow, how do I play? My question to you, Luke, is, what the flip does that mean? Up my elbow, how do I play? Rephrase that, please. Make sure you're using question marks, my friends, okay? How do I get my wrist to bend more? Stretching? Surgery? Jimmy, no, it's not about your wrist bending more. It really is not. For the same reason that I've got stretch and reach exercises inside the 365 program, for the same reason, we're not really stretching. We're just learning how to use our thumb. We're learning how to use our fingers to gain a stretch, okay, to gain some reach, okay? So typically, Jimmy, what that means is you're just a little bit of a newer player, and that's cool, because guess what? Everybody starts at the beginning, and it just means that you need more practice, okay? So neither one of those are gonna work, the stretching or the surgery. It has to do with playing. And I have many exercises for you. Inside the free program, if the free program's not enough for you and you want everything, go to YourGuitarSage.com/1 and you can get everything that I have to offer for $1. At least for 30 days, you can test drive it, okay? Is the PDF good for both days? Yes, it is, Richard. Great question. Thank you. Can you show the B chord? I'm struggling with that one. And when do you review Orangewood guitars? Mark is saying. I'm going to do that. I don't know when, Mark, on the Orangewood guitars. I've got a stack of reviews and other videos to do, so I don't know. I can't promise you. But let's talk about the B chord. So the B chord, what you want to do is you want to make sure that this ring finger is hyperextended. What does that mean? It means it's bent back like that, because you are going to use that to bar strings 4, 3, and 2. Sometimes you can get out that last note. If you can't, it's okay to just hit the 4 middle strings and mute that high E string, okay? But I can promise you that it has everything to do with bending that finger back, okay? And strength, dexterity, all those bits and pieces that I'm teaching in the free course, okay? Yay, Christopher loves my shirt. Thank you, buddy. Is there a way I can win the guitar without social media stuff? No. My strumming picking hand is broken, cast goes past my elbow. How do I? Oh, my strumming picking arm is broken. Cast goes past my elbow. How do I play? Luke. Man, Luke, I don't know. I'd have to see your situation. That you may have to wait on that one, or just get that arm out front. Where there's a will, there's a way. Check out the guy with no arms playing on YouTube, and you'll find some encouragement from him. If you're playing a B minor chord and then want to play an F sharp chord, would you just shift your index finger? Would you shift your index finger at all? Yes, I do. I move the whole thing. And Swagger Cat, thank you for mentioning this, is hinting you in on what it is that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Because when you play the F chord, you can play the F7 chord, you can play the F minor chord, the F minor 7, I mean, there's so many chords you can play, but you can also take that same chord, move it down 1 string, and now you can play minor chords going up the fretboard and all their variations, okay? Minor, minor 7, major, suspended, 7th, etc. Okay, so there's your minor chord. So the question is, should you move the index finger at all? Yeah, I do. I move the whole thing, but I mean, technically, you could just do that, but just make sure you're strumming the right strings, right? All right, good questions. Lee said, use the force, Luke. Exactly. I love it. My guinea pigs are loving this, Eric. Good. I love guinea pigs. That was my first pet. I love guinea pigs. Are there different neck profiles on Mexican Strat? If yes, which one is better or easier to play for beginners? There is no better or easier. It depends on who you are. Yes, there are different profiles. Do you gig? Spotted Marley. I have not gigged now in probably over a year, but yes, I've played in, oh my gosh, dozens of bands, recorded lots and lots of stuff over the years. But honestly, this teaching bit is my main gig, and it's what I'm doing so much now that I find it very hard to play in a band, especially one that is not up to my standard, to where if they're not doing if they're not practicing like I would like them to, then I'm not gonna take the time. You know what I mean? How do you register for free UGS program? Again, Bobby is saying. Bobby, So there's two different ways to do this. What Bobby's asking, friends, is how you register for the free UGS program again. Now, if you're talking about, you're gonna have to be more detailed. If you're talking about winning the lifetime memberships that we'll be giving away on Saturday, along with this guitar and a bunch of other stuff. If you're talking about that, Bobby, it's YourGuitarSage.com/live. Okay, friends, if you got the time, go open up a new tab. Do that right now, or at least open up a new tab so you'll do it later. YourGuitarSage.com/live. That's how you're going to do that. If you want the free course that you have free forever, it's the first 30 lessons that I teach all my students. If you're coming to visit me here in Nashville, it would take about a year to do it. So it's a lot of information, okay? And it's the best lessons as well. That's YourGuitarSage.com/30. My God, my friends, take advantage of it, or visit me here in Nashville, spend about $1,000, and we'll do the same thing, same exact thing. If you're wanting the whole enchilada, Bobby, if you're wanting to test drive the whole enchilada, that's YourGuitarSage.com/1, because you're spending $1 to test drive nearly 1,000 videos, nearly 600 jam tracks for $1. I also do live broadcasts that are only available to those folks. So that's YourGuitarSage.com/1. I feel like all my improvisation sounds the same. What should I do? Eric. Well, several different things you could do, Eric. You could play in different forms of your scales. You could learn what I call the minimalistic method, or minimalistic blues, because that's how I teach it, using blues, but just taking small parts of a scale and really getting to know that scale. And here's what you do is you say, okay, here I am in this position here, I'm playing, and I'm using, 4 frets. How many different riffs can I come up with? So I would just take 4 notes and just get to know them really, really, really well. They're going to be on your guitar for the rest of your guitar's life, so you might as well learn those 4 notes. And then you move on to another 4 or 5 notes. So small sections, really get to know it. So what's happening is you're going to things that you already know. So step 1, Eric, don't ever play the things that you always do. If it's what's familiar to you and you feel like you're going to play it, don't do it. Leave space there, because leaving that space, just like meditation or anything else in life, when you leave that space, something good else comes in its place. But if you play the same old crap all the time, the same old crap is going to move out what you could be doing, okay? Okay, so do that. Play in different forms. Check out the minimalistic blues that I talk about, call and response. Learn solos from other players. Practice those solos. Integrate those riffs into what you're doing. I've represented this a few times when I'll be playing whatever, a chord progression, then I'll drop right into Stairway to Heaven solo, because you can steal those licks from anybody, and because they stole them from other players, and so on and so forth, okay? Okay, good. Does that answer your question? Okay, hopefully so. Man, these questions are fast. All right, I'm hitting the string with the tip of my pinky. It slouches to the side. What will that correct itself? Any advice? Celeste, it won't correct itself unless you observe it and say to yourself, don't do, or tell yourself, don't do that anymore. Then don't do it 1 time. And then you do it again and say, don't do that anymore. Don't do it 2 times. And eventually you'll build what's called a neural path. It's a habit. Same thing. You're building a habit. And unless you specifically tell yourself don't do that and correct it, then no, it's not going to correct itself. It's not doing anything. It's an inanimate object. You have to do it, okay? I think I know what you're saying, but yes, you're going to have to be focused on it, and that will take care of it, okay? What pickup do you like for acoustic guitars? I love the LR Baggs Anthem. It's what I use when I go to record in the studio. I can use $5,000 mic on it, and I end up using the pickup every single time. I have yet to find something that beats it. It's fantastic. It's expensive. It's like $300, but it's awesome. Is it going to be easy after learning the F chord to do minor and 7th chords too? Yes, Douglas, it is easy. So much easier. It is easy. So that's where you're going to learn all those new chords. This is where this stuff really shines, okay? Do you have non-bank breaking guitar that you recommend to someone switching from acoustic to electric? Scott, I do. Check out, I have a page here. You can check it out, kit.com, kit.com/YourGuitarSage. That's where I have some recommendations, acoustic and electric. I'm probably going to be adding that orange wood to there as well, if I can technically get it set up for you to see on there, because they do not go through Amazon or any other vendor. They go direct. But that's an amazing guitar, acoustic guitar as well. Okay? From acoustic to electric. But the electric, I'd say the Epiphone Les Paul, but you can check that out on there, okay? Tips for finger style, Varun. Yeah, there's a lot of information about that, Varun. I would say get into the free program, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Watch the finger style videos that I have in there. I think I have at least one, maybe 2 or 3, but lots of exercises for you to do. You do that, you are going to be set for fingerstyle. I promise you, one video. Are these live broadcasts every night, Eric? No, Lee, they are typically twice a week. In this case here, we're doing 3 this week. We're going to do one on Saturday, okay? And then for folks that are inside the UGS program, I do another 2 every single month that are just private, that are not this many people. Make sense? Cool. All right. Okay, I'm going to bounce over to Facebook here, my friends, and get to some questions. So we've got a lot of folks that are joining us today, so we definitely are going to miss some of the questions. For that, I apologize. That's why we do so many of these, and when you're inside the UGS program, that's why I do several of those now, is because we have some good amount of folks in there now. But everybody gets their questions answered in there for sure. Okay, Betsy on Facebook's asking, hey, I asked this before, but it disappeared. I have an acoustic and electric available. Should I practice on just one of them, or would it be better for both? It doesn't matter, Betsy. It depends. It's up to you. I would say practice on both of them. If you are a really amazing guitar player and you have to play one specific guitar all the time, that makes sense because you're executing things and it needs to be the same exact way every single time. But when you're a new player, it's not like that. I've been playing for 35 years and I play tons of different guitars, which means I'm probably not that good yet, enough to just play one guitar and just wail away. Okay, like Yngwie Malmsteen. But no, seriously, you play different guitars. It's like driving different cars. They're all going to have a different feel, but it's all cool. Okay. Okay, Patricia is saying you've shown the finger practicing only on the first two strings, first fret and then the last string, first fret, but not all together. The bar chord appears to cover all 6 strings at once with the first finger. How do you get that clear sound like that, or does it come later with practice? Patricia, it comes later with practice. What I'm teaching you to do, Patricia, is take the chord and I can show you that how I play it, but it's not going to help you. Everybody has a different place on that chord that they're having problems with. You have to learn to be your own teacher. Since I can't be with the thousands of you at once, you have to. I'm giving you my soul and my heart and telling you how to do this so that you can do it yourself, so that you don't need a daggone guitar teacher. Okay, so yes, and I showed it to you on 2 strings all the way across the fretboard. So that's what you need to do first, because if you can't do 2 strings, just like the juggler, you're not going to be able to do 3 strings. If you can't juggle 2 balls, 3 balls is not going to be easier. 4 and 5 is going to make it crazy. So you have to do 2 strings at a time. If you can't do that, Betsy, you're not going to be able to do 3 strings at a time. Make sense? Then you move on to 3 strings at a time, then 4 strings at a time, then 5 strings at a time, okay? And again, I have supplemental videos for this inside the free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30, because I can't give everything to you all at once because of time, right? Because we need to answer some questions here. I would love to be able to. If I had the ability to, I would, and I'm trying to work on this. It plagues me at night to be able to do more for you. But that's the deal, okay? What about the size of your fingers, tall or short? Does it really matter? Nope, does not matter. Again, I'll post a video, or you can look it up online. Just go to YouTube and search no arms guitar player, and you'll find a guy who's playing guitar, chords, melody, with his toes. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if anybody's listening. Look at your toes right now. If anybody has fingers that are fatter and shorter than their toes, then maybe you're the one exception. But I guarantee you that there's 0 people like that, okay? So it doesn't matter. And it has everything to do with practice. I've never heard a guitar player who's been practicing and who's been diligently practicing for months or years say, my fingers are too short, my hands are too small. It's only very beginners that do this because they think it's them. It's not them, it's the guitar. It's difficult to play, okay? But if you have the secrets, if you know how to do this stuff, it becomes so much easier, okay? It's not you, it's the guitar, okay? Okay, good. Does that make sense? Hopefully. I would like it to. All right, so here you go. I'm going to go now to... I gotta mute this guy. That was me. Okay, I gotta go over to, I'm looking for more comments here on YouTube, and then we'll pop back over to Facebook. Oh, okay, Facebook, you're not being very, okay, here we go. Okay, Sir Isle of England, nice, love it. You guys are funny. You guys make some funny jokes sometimes. You make me laugh. Okay. Could you please tell the guy with a broken arm to practice finger picking, like the free stroke? I'm training now flamenco and just had a rotator cuff surgery and can still play, but on my Les Paul, not my classical. That's a great bit, Craig. And what else you could be doing is just practicing the fretting hand, right? I mean, that's half the problem. We got the fretting hand, we got the picking hand. The two have to work together, but work on some fretting, work on your pull-offs, work on your hammer-ons, work on your scale forms. There's 10 million things you could work on without even picking the guitar, okay? Tons of stuff. Eric, any suggestions on pinky pull-offs? Hammer-ons for me are okay, but I miss the mark as far as sound when I attempt to pull off with the pinky. Any exercises that would be helpful? Scott, yes. So here's what you want to do. If you're not in 365 where I have 52-ish exercises for hammer-ons and pull-offs, then here's what to do. When you're picking, make sure, especially with that pinky, right? Make sure that you're pulling down with that, okay? And make sure that your ring finger is standing its ground. It's standing firm, because what happens is a lot of times people pick and they pick with both fingers, or they pull off with both fingers, causing that sound. But if this guy stands his ground and you just pull that pinky down, I just did it. I messed up. How about that? So, but it really, truly is all about practice. I could practice more. It's true. If I stopped teaching as much, I could practice more. Okay, so, all right. Good. All right, I'm popping back over to YouTube. Here we go. All right, questions. What is the A minor pentatonic? Please, Lee, watch my video on the A minor pentatonic. Okay, it goes like this. If you're in the 5th position, meaning your first finger's behind the 5th fret, then you're going to pick, starting on the 6th string, you're going to pick frets, or play frets, 5 and 8, 5 and 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay, that's it. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. This is available in the free ebook. It's available in the course that's $1 today, YourGuitarSage.com/1. Tons of stuff about the pentatonic in there. I have a free lesson on YouTube. Just search Your Guitar Sage Pentatonic, and I'll give you a lot more detail about that. Okay, great. Best pick for beginners? Anyone. Does not matter. If you're doing a lot of strumming, you'll want thinner picks. If you're doing more picking, intricate type stuff, you'll want thicker picks. Okay? Great. Great questions. Okay, I'm going back a little bit on YouTube here. Okay. Is there a way to stop ripping my fingertips up? I'm also a magician, and my finger looks terrible when working with the guitar. Ray, what you could do is you could back up a little bit, okay? You could back up and what I mean by this is like ease up a little bit on your, how can I say this? Don't practice as much. I hate to say it, but you know what's happening is that you're playing more and your calluses aren't catching up in quite the right time. Now they will in time, but I mean this is just part of the process. Verdi says no one learns bar chords 2 strings at a time. Verdi, no one dumb, no one smart, no one I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say there. No one learns bar chords 2 notes at a time. Verdi, then you need to stop watching the video. You're in the wrong place, but you keep hanging around. So, see ya. If you want to learn bar chords the correct way, yes, you learn them 2 notes at a time. This way it tells you exactly what the problem is. Otherwise, Verdi, you can learn it three notes at a time, or 4 notes, or 5 notes, or 6 notes. But chances are, Verdi, I'm thinking you might be someone who needs a lot of attention because you've done this 3 times now in the broadcast, and I'm getting ready to kick your ass out because that's the way I roll. Okay, so... Hello, Eric. What guitar strings would you recommend for a beginner? What guitar strings would I recommend for a beginner? Doesn't matter. It really, truly does not matter. I'd like to tell you something, but, you know, thinner strings will help you bend easier, but other than that, there's not really a guitar string that's meant for beginners, okay? How do I keep the pick in my hand while finger picking? Can I use it whenever I want to? Yeah, that's called, Ron, that's called a hybrid picking, so where you're holding the pick between your thumb and your first finger, and then you're finger picking with the other fingers. Cool? Lita 4 did not respond to me, David, about the guitar, and I've written to her before, so either it's her guitar and she doesn't want to let me know, or she doesn't do social media, or who knows what. She's probably hanging out with Verdi. What picks are good for beginner acoustic guitar players? What picks? Probably thinner picks, or well, I say probably. Thinner picks are definitely better. I love brain picks. Snarling Dog brain picks. They're pretty cool. They're on the Kit store, kit.com/YourGuitarSage. Okay, all right. Okay, good. All right, so now I'm going all the way to where we just were. Okay. Can you show a blues lick which involves double stops in the key of A? Yeah, so I was doing it with slow dancing. I hit that one right there, or the classic. That's a, Chuck Berry-ish. So 1st and 2nd string, 5th fret. Or make sense? Okay. Cool. All right. I'm not kicking you out, Scott. I'm only every now and then there's always some bozo. It's so rare, but oh man, there's always that one person who's just so special. Yeah. Hold the pick between your thumb and middle finger. Index does not feel comfortable. Thumb and middle finger. Index does not feel comfortable. Will this hold me back? No, because that's the way Eddie Van Halen plays. So Eddie was pretty good. So I'd say you're in good hands if you're playing like that. That's totally fine. I think he did that so that he could finger tap, because he would play like this, and you could see him doing those trills, and then he'd come up here with his first finger and do that. It's not very comfortable to me, but if it works, then do it, man. Okay, how many guitars do I own? I have 4. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in this room, and then I've got like 4 in that room, and like 10 upstairs, and like in each room I've got a few guitars. So I bet you I probably have between 30 and 40 guitars right now. I'm trying to give some away. I'm doing it Saturday. Love doing that. It's fun. Okay. Yeah. Practicing every day, 15 minutes bar chords. How long should it take to be good enough to play songs with bar chords? Fernando, that's a question that really can't truly be answered. If someone answers it, they're not giving you an accurate answer. There's just no way to say. Everybody's different, depends on your guitar, bunch of other stuff, you know? Cool? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, how many guitars? Oh, like I said before, let's banish Verdi to cat and booby video land. All right, all right. No more attention for I only play with, okay, right. How do you feel about medium picks for playing rhythm and lead? I think it's great. You know, medium and, I use medium and heavy picks when I'm playing lead. I don't use thin picks, so that's the way it works. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like to play. Okay. Do you also play bass? I do. What's my favorite chord? Probably a B7 chord. There you go. Love that one. Is it hard to play flamenco techniques? Yes. It's hard to play guitar. I mean, what I say is hard to play guitar. If you take it in step-by-step bits and you try not to do more than you deserve, and what I mean by that is if you go to play the guitar and you go to pick up that F chord right away the first day, you're doing more than you deserve because you haven't practiced up to it. That's like going to the gym and lifting weights way higher than you should be lifting. You got to work up to it, right? So as long as you're doing step by step, it's not. And same thing with flamenco. If you're learning it step by step, then you can do it. Make sense? But with that being said, flamenco specifically is a bit of a wild card. There's some techniques that are wild there, okay? Okay, Rod, hey Eric, Guitar Talk, which is better, vintage built guitars or newer today material made guitars? Rod, I would say vintage guitars. You know, there's no specific way to say it, but as a whole, vintage guitars were made, like they didn't make cheap vintage guitars. They just made guitars. And they were made with good quality, and they were prideful about the way they did things, or they had pride in what they did. Now it seems like there's a lot of folks making stuff that's cheap so they could just sell a lot, okay? So it just depends on what you're getting, okay? While finger picking, how do you hide a pick in your hand so that you can pop it off whenever you want? I mean, what I'll do sometimes is if I'm playing, I'll find myself doing this. And I just found myself doing that in videos. So I would play, you know, and then I would put it between these two fingers and it would allow me to do other stuff. But, you know, so I've seen some people kind of palm it like that, put it in between their palm like they would a magician like we have here today. So that's what you want to do. But any way that you do it, it's going to take a little time to get to doing it, okay? It's practice like anything else. Can we play acoustic songs in classical with chords? I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. Top 3 songs to learn and justify electric guitar purchase for beginners is folk. Already have an acoustic. Josh. Okay, top 3 songs that you could learn. Hey Joe is a super fun one. These are just off the top of my head. There's no science to this, but that's a great one to do. Iron Man or Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Oh, gosh. Purple Haze is another great one. But those are just some fun ones that I like, you know. Eric, I tried to learn something from a source outside your system. I think it's called pinch harmonics. Just love the sound. Couldn't get it. Can you show us that? Yeah, Scott is saying. So a pinch harmonic, friends, is when it sounds like this. Wow. Hear that? Could use a little bit more overdrive on this. You So you hear that sound? So that's what's called a pinch harmonic, and basically what I'm doing is I'm taking, and I cover this, of course, in my program, and I have a video for this on YouTube. You could look up pinch harmonic, YourGuitarSage pinch, and I'll show you how to do that in more detail. But essentially what I'm doing is when I pick a note, I'm allowing that string to a normal pick, but instead of allowing the string to sound out like we normally would just by this, what I'm doing is I'm letting the string graze the side of my thumb just where it naturally would occur flying off of the pick. So for instance, hey Chris, see if you can get a close-up of this. This is going to be a little bit difficult, but okay. So note here, my thumb is kind of away, whereas when I'm pinch picking, I'm kind of doing this bit. So here's a normal pick, but if I start kind of putting my thumb in the way here by kind of pinching up, you can have a lot of fun with it, okay? Now, here are some suggestions. Like anything that you learn on the guitar, it's all awkward at first. You're not gonna get it at first. It just doesn't happen. Drill that into your head and you will be an amazing guitar player. If you think things are just gonna happen, you're gonna self-destruct. So just understand that everything is trial and error. But it's good to know the bits and pieces, right? So in this case here, if you're wanting to learn how to do pinch harmonics, also known as pseudos, pseudo harmonics, or squealies, or artificial harmonics, then what you'll want to do is play on the lower strings, lower in pitch, right? And lower frets, because those are easier to get out. I can do that all day long. Start getting to the higher notes. It becomes a little more, becomes a lot harder to get to, okay? So that's the way you want to practice those. And it's always nice to add a bend or a squeal or a bend or vibrato with it. Always adds to the fun there. Okay. Great. Who won? Who won what? Who won what? Haven't given anything away yet, but we will. What our friend is saying there is what we're saying here basically, my friends, is well now I've lost my place. Ah, dadgone it. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, Chris, if you're able to, please boot Verdi. He's just a nuisance to everybody else. So if you can do that within there, just boot him, please. Not the kind of folks we want on our channel. Okay, Rod is saying, I'm thinking about downsizing by 4 to get one acoustic in good condition. I don't know anything about that guitar, Rod. Sorry, my friend. Can you recommend an exercise without a guitar to improve finger strength? Yeah, work with some silly putty. It's just some putty in your hand, okay? Okay, can I play acoustic guitar song on it using chords, not fingers, picking style? I have a classical guitar. Can I play acoustic guitar on it? Yes, of course. Rocksmith is a great game. I think you can learn something from it, but not like playing guitar. It's helpful, for sure. Zach Wilde is a pinch harmonic master, indeed. How long to learn Stairway to Heaven solo? Just depends. Depends how much you're practicing. If you're practicing a lot, it won't take very long. Shad Wilson, I have a lifetime UGS membership. Best money spent. Oh, yay. Thank you so much, Shad. So appreciate it. I really appreciate you saying so, my friend. Exactly. You don't master the guitar, you just get good. I mean, we have mastery and we're always pointed towards it, but my gosh, I've been playing for a long time and there's so much that I don't know on the guitar. And that's everybody. Okay? All right. Bye-bye, Verdi. Bye-bye, Verdi. Wasn't that a movie? How do you begin to learn vibrato techniques? Brian, like anything, you just do it, okay? So literally, you pick a note, and it sounds awkward at first, right? It sounds weird because you're getting to learn it. And then what you want to do is act like this is a cigarette at the tip of your finger, and you're kind of pushing it out into an ashtray. Kind of extinguishing it, if you will. That's how you practice vibrato. I got vids for that on YouTube and in the program. Just search YourGuitarSage vibrato, or if you're in the program, type in vibrato. Right? Can you play an F major 6 at the sixth A string root clean? John, what are you saying? Can I play an F major 6 at the 6th string A root clean? I mean, a 6 chord is that, adding that note, okay? So you're playing through the scale. You're adding the 6th note. So you could add that note as well. So if we were playing this, can you play that at the A fret though? You can play parts of every chord on all sections of the guitar, but it may not be specifically the one. I'm going to need to know more about what you're asking there, like specifically, like what are you looking for? Because, yeah, you might be able to play it, but it's going to be a partial chord, chances are. Top 3 acoustics, depends on who you are. I would say, Martin, Taylor, Gibson, but, that's like saying what are the top 3 colors or the top 3 tastes. It just depends on who you are. Makes sense? Pentatonic versus 3 note per string, which is more useful? Two totally different things. Two totally different things. They're both good for what they do. Can you give GNR lessons soon? I mean, I believe I've got some. No, I don't have any Guns N' Roses lessons. I should do some Guns N' Roses. I'll put it on the list. Do you have a lesson in UGS or YouTube for that intro song you played? John, I don't. That is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, and but really it's all pentatonic, or blues, I should say. So I teach that style inside the course, but I don't actually teach that specific song. Okay, I'm going to bounce over to YouTube here really quickly, my friends, and get to some questions here. All right. So is pinch harmonics basically the sound of distortion via the thumb? No, Betsy, but I didn't mention this, and thank you so much. Betsy, having some overdrive, having some distortion is very, very crucial in regards to getting that pinch harmonic sound, okay? So definitely you want that, okay? Do you ever play 12-string acoustic? Is it much different from playing regular 6-string? I really like the sound. I have owned 12 strings before. I don't like them. They're a pain in the butt to tune, and I just can't get to playing right away. Also, it's just a different instrument. It's meant to be played a certain way that it is that sound. A lot of strumming. It's very, very big sounding, but dear God, tuning those is not fun. Eric, thanks so much for answering my question on and the Lazy Pinky. Okay, thought there was another question there. You're so welcome, Scott. For acoustic players, any recommendation on a particular string gauge and type? Nope, no recommendations other than what's in the store. It's in my kit store, kit.com/YourGuitarSage. But D'Addario works, Vibe works, GHS works, all pretty much the same. Do you set your own? Pardon me. Do you set your own guitars up? No, I do not. I've got a tech that does that. I could do it, but it'd be a lot more time, and I probably wouldn't be able to do it as well as he does because he has a real passion for it. Barron saying, I like your idea of practicing small bits of scales. Do you have videos teaching the different scales? Barron, I do. I do have videos for that. On YouTube, type in Your Guitar Sage scale. A lot more inside the system, obviously, inside of UGS. To test drive it, YourGuitarSage.com/1. I love your, okay, good questions. Does the brand of guitar matter? I'm a beginner and I have a fitness guitar. Mohammed, watch and anybody who has a question about guitars, watch the first 2 videos. If you're buying a guitar, getting ready to buy your second guitar, any of those, watch the first 2 videos inside the free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30. The link for that, I'm sure, is in the description of this video. Do that because that will tell you exactly what you need to look out for in a super easy way, okay? But it's kind of like, not lengthy, but the 2 videos together maybe about 15, 20 minutes. Obviously, we can't go over all that right now. But bottom line, the sound of your in a nutshell, you know, how much you can afford. You know, you don't need to be playing $1,000 guitars if you can't afford it, right? Unless you're just doing it for the education. So play what you can afford. Play all of the guitars you can afford. Go with the one that speaks to you the most, sound and playability. All right. All right, great questions. Man, you guys are on fire today. All right, let's jump over to YouTube again. Epiphone Les Paul 100. Thoughts? It's a great cheap guitar, yes. Which scale is best for playing melody in guitar? The major scale, by far. The most melodic. It's where we get all of our scales from, really. Any tips for learning alternate picking techniques? And do you think it's much better than down picking? Shane, it's a different technique. It's used for different things. So if I was going to play this, if I was going to play... If I was going to play that, I wouldn't be able to do that with down picks. I would have to use alternate picking, okay? And if you're talking about just playing like, if you're talking about... If you're talking about like playing Ramones and stuff like that, then down picking to me sounds better, but you could do both. It works. Okay, great questions, great questions. The intro song, Robert, was Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. What, okay. Okay, good, okay. All right, I'm gonna answer 2 more questions, my friends, and then we're gonna sum this up. Before I answer those 2 questions, what time is it? It's 12:30. Yeah, it's a good time. Good time to end it. Here I go. Real quick, few things that you need to do. If you did not download that PDF already, I took the time to make it for you. And it's going to, look, when we have these lessons like this, and I spend an hour and a half, tomorrow another hour and a half, 3 hours with you, you're still not gonna get it all. Okay, now I know many of you get this, but there's some of you out there that think that things just come to you like that, and they don't. Nothing in life comes like that. So here, let me be a good teacher and tell you, it don't happen like that, okay? That's your life lesson for the day. It takes time and energy and discipline, okay? So dig into that PDF because I give you all the details of what I've talked about here today. I also have supplementary videos inside the free course. Take advantage of the free course. If you're watching this right now and you have questions about the guitar and you haven't taken advantage of the free course, then I can't help you so much because I'm literally giving you like $1,000 worth of lessons for free. YourGuitarSage.com/30. Take advantage of it, okay? Thirdly, if you're beyond those first 30 lessons, which means you've watched those 30 lessons, not that you are some advanced player and you think that you're beyond them, because I guarantee you, I've had players 30, 40 years playing that have taken those first 30 lessons that have said, I cannot believe how much I did not know about the basics. So that means you've gone through the 30 lessons. If you've gone through the 30 lessons and you want more, I've got 1,000-something videos on YouTube for free. And then I've also got 1,000-ish lessons on UGS/365 and some 600 jam tracks that you can get for $1. Get that at YourGuitarSage.com/1, and you'll get a 30-day trial to the program where you will absolutely get everything that I've done. Okay? Pretty cool. What else? Do not forget, my friends, we're going to be here tomorrow, right? 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube. Do not forget this, because we're going to do the part 2. And all the work that you did today by learning this F chord is only going to be half as valuable than if you show up tomorrow. In fact, it's going to be even more valuable. Well, it's about half as valuable, because now the F chord will allow you to literally play twice as many songs as you were able to play before, because half the songs require an F chord because they're in the key of C or some form of that C. Okay? But tomorrow, I'm going to show you how that one F chord form will basically turn into 100 plus new chords. I promise you it will be super easy, and when you walk away with it, you'll actually understand. Not only will you be able to play these chords or be a lot closer to it, you're going to understand how the names of the chords. So if I say an F sharp minor 7, you literally will be able to form that on the fretboard. Now, it may take some time for you to be able to play it right, but I'll be able to show it to you, and you'll know what it is just by me saying it. Okay? I got tricks. Okay, that's number 4, whatever. Number 5, we got the kit store, kit.com/YourGuitarSage for any needs that you have on anything that you need for guitar. Go there, okay? Lastly, my friends, but definitely not least, join me on Saturday, August 25th, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for the live broadcast that I'm going to be doing on practicing, on how to maximize your practice on the 4 most important areas of the guitar, okay? Not only will I be teaching this lesson, I'll be doing the live Q&A afterwards, but in between there, I'll be giving away this beautiful guitar along with thousands of dollars worth of goodies, okay? This is the 1993 Gibson Les Paul Special that Laser Lloyd and Michael Spriggs owned. This is a beast of a guitar. It's amazing, and I'm not looking forward to giving it away. I just bought it from Gruen Guitar, and so there you go. So join us, YourGuitarSage.com/live, or we may have a link inside the description of the video. Okay, my friends? Love you guys. Great questions. Everybody played out awesomely, except for there was one kid in here. Every now and then we get that once a year or something like that. It happens. It's okay. It shows you just how cool you are to me, okay? So thank you so much, my friends. Thank you for the great questions. Love you guys. Please let me know how I can help, and make sure you take advantage of all the stuff I'm giving you guys, okay? See ya tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube.